Hey guys, Robman here. I figured I would make a quick video as we're heading into the Christmas holiday. I know some people are going to want to probably consider buying the Santa's gift containers for the World of Warships Christmas 2021 event, so I figured I'd give a brief summary of the drop rates and which container types you should be buying depending on what you're looking to get. So I'll show on the screen here, this is the World of Warships dev blog. They have posted this year the specific drop rates of each of the three different types of containers. If you want to read this for yourself, there's also a list of what ships you can get. I'll go over that later in this video. But you can access this information at blog.worldofwarships.com/blog/251. With that said, I'm not going to go through each individual percentage as I want this to be a quick video. The big thing that you really need to take away from this is if you're looking for regular signal flags, as in not the special dragon ones or the wyverns, you're going to want to get the small Santa's gift container. I don't necessarily recommend gambling for these. There's a lot better ways to get them. But they only drop on the small ones, and they drop 40% of the time from those containers. I don't recommend the big containers themselves, but the drop rates are shown here, followed by the mega containers. If you're going for ships, which is what I recommend you go for if you're going to buy these containers, I recommend that you go exclusively with the megas. I do have a spreadsheet where I'll show you exactly why, but these just generally have the best return on investment, provided that you're willing to part with enough money to purchase them. They are quite expensive. There are two things to note with this year's event. Whereas the events in previous years, if you already had all of the ships and you rolled for another ship, you would get the value of the ship that you rolled for in gold. This year, depending on the size of the container you buy, you're just going to get a set amount of steel. So for the small container, it's 250 steel. If you roll for a ship and you already have all of them, 750 for the big and 1250 for the mega containers. There's also a mercy rule that has been posted. For the small gift containers, it is different for all three. Keep that in mind. They do not stack, so to speak. So if you open up 98 of the small containers and don't get a ship, you're guaranteed to get a ship from one of the three categories on the 99th container. The same is true for the 26th big container and the 14th mega container. Remember that those are all completely separate. You don't mix and match the containers if you're looking to take advantage of the mercy rule. Also, keep in mind that the mercy rule only procs in the event that you do not get a ship in the requisite number of containers. So, for an example, with the mega gift containers, just to reiterate, if you get a ship on your 7th container, the mercy rule then wouldn't proc until the 21st container. It's 14 containers from the last ship that you received. I'll also show here briefly the list of ships. They are divided into three separate categories, as you can see up here with all the containers. There is the tier 5 to 7 category, the tier 8 to 9 category, and the tier 10 and rare ships category. You can see here, it corresponds to these categories. The tier 10 and rare ships, obviously rare. There are ships in here that are either not obtainable anymore, like the Smaland or the Missouri or the Smolensk. But there's also ships that were obtainable not too long ago, things like the Massachusetts that do tend to come up every so often. Beyond that, you have your tier 8 and tier 9 ships. These ships, I believe most of them are still available today to purchase straight up for cash in the premium shop, but it is this list of ships here. There is also a massively long list of tier 5 and 7 ships. There are some good ones in here. There are some gems like the Florida, but there are also some not great ones, something like the Yukon, that you definitely do not want to be getting out of these containers. With that said, if you want to look through this list, feel free to pause the video and look through it yourself, or, like I said, you can go to this link. At this point, I'm going to pull up my spreadsheet. Give me 1 second to find that. And with this spreadsheet here, I'm just going to briefly go over how to interpret the spreadsheet. This is the entire spreadsheet. You're welcome to pause the video and use any of the math that you need to run your own calculations if you need to. Long story short, if you're looking to get the absolute best bang for your dollar, you're going to want to get the 20-pack bundle of the mega crates. The mega crates are shown here on the left, in the middle are the big crates, and on the right-hand side are the small crates. You'll see, generally, I've calculated the cost per ship. This is including all three of the categories. And you'll see, obviously, the cheapest ships that you will get is if you buy the 20-pack of the megas, which is why I'm recommending it. Followed closely in terms of cost per ship that you get is the 8-pack of the megas. Now, at that point, that brings into account the cost of each crate. because you get a discount for buying them in bulk, obviously, this is the cost per individual crate. If you buy them individually, they're $5, but if you buy the 20 pack, it's a $75 pack, you get 20 crates, you're only paying $3.75, so it's a substantial cost savings of about 25%. I do not recommend that you buy these crates individually. As you can see, the average cost that you will pay per ship is quite expensive. And you will note, if you roll for a good ship, like a tier 10 or a special ship, and you get lucky and it's the first ship that you get, you will pay a low price for it. But you will notice that the average price that you pay goes up astronomically if you buy them individually. For that same reason, you see that this is quite expensive for a pixel ship. I wouldn't personally spend that much for a pixel ship, but you pays you money and makes your choice. But you'll notice that even that poor price, it is only slightly higher than the base price for those same ships with the best bundle of the big crates. That is to say that the big crates are just not worth purchasing. The small crates, you can see they just go up astronomically as you get higher. I'll bump that out just so you can see the full number. The reason that was glitched out there is that is actually a full $1,000 on average just to get a single ship on average. That is incredibly expensive. If you're going for ships, just get the megas. And my strict recommendation, in the order in which you buy them in multiples of 75 if you choose to purchase. And then any leftover money you have, feel free to throw it into either something else, one of the other categories. But this is going to give you the best return on essentially everything. You will notice down here the average number of doubloons premium days. The likelihood of you rolling for them, the percentage, is identical for all three of the crates. It only changes by the amount. So with respect to doubloons, I do have the information here. If you do roll for a doubloons drop from a mega crate, you get 2,500, whereas with a big crate, you only get 1,500, and a small, you only get 500. So that said, if you're going for almost anything, these ones you can kind of just pick and choose randomly. They are the same percentage, so it really depends on how much you're looking for. You can see even if you buy the 20 pack of any of these crates, you're only going to be expecting on average 5% to be doubloons, which is one crate. So it really depends on how many doubloons you're looking to get onto your account to determine how many of those you buy. I do have the prices for each bundle listed up top in this row, as well as the cost per crate here. Obviously, the number of crates, this is also straight from the World of Warships premium shop, just the number of crates. As I said, and this goes for all of them, I strongly recommend no matter what size crate you're buying, you buy the large 20-pack bundle. I do not recommend buying any of the crates individually. Beyond that, just to briefly once again go over how to use these numbers here. So these average number of ships, so what this means is out of those 20 crates, you would expect to get 3.2 ships using the 16% drop rate. Of a respect that you can't get 3.2 ships, you'd either get 3 or 4, quote unquote, on average. You can take that to mean where if you were to open 100 of these crates, you would get 16 ships on average. There is a minimum, like I said, there is a mercy rule, so if you were to open 20 crates, as I said, you're guaranteed to get a bare minimum of 1 ship and be 6 crates along towards your next mercy rule as a bare minimum. You are guaranteed with the 20 pack to get 1 ship. Beyond that, you can see the average number of ships. So what this generally means is because it's a 1% chance by the laws of averages, if you were to open 100 boxes, you are not guaranteed to get one. But that would be where you'd expect to get one on average, so to speak. So with just 20 boxes, obviously you have a 0.2 expected out of those 20 boxes. So it's not likely that out of just one single roll, you're going to get 20, or you're going to get a single one of these tier 10 or special ships. They are supposed to be quite rare. Beyond that, the average costs per ship of each type is listed here. This is the average cost overall per ship. So for every ship that you get, if, like I said, if you were to open 100 of these crates and you were to get 16 ships, each ship would have cost approximately, on average, quote unquote, $23.43. That's not including all of the other benefits that you get out of these crates. All of the crates will drop something, whether that be camos, flags, etc. I encourage you to read the dev blog if you are not familiar with how this event works. There is also the average cost per tier 5 to tier 7 ship. It is slightly higher than this for obvious reasons. because there is a chance of you getting a tier 8 or tier 9 ship or a tier 10 or special ship. So those are the general numbers there. You can see as I click through exactly how I did the math if you'd like to check that for yourself. But as I said, the math generally works out. You're going to want to buy the mega crates in the bundle of 20. With that said, if you have any specific questions about the math that I've done here or the Christmas event in general, feel free to leave them in the comments section or subscribe to the channel. I will have a similar video done for the World of Tanks drop calculations for the winter event in that game coming up here in the next day or two. With that said, best of luck in the crates should you choose to buy them, and Robman out.